Hello everyone. Let's get started. My name is Tapio Pesola. I'm the Investor Relations Manager here at F-Secure, and I would like to warmly welcome you to this webcast again. With me today I have our CEO, Samu Konttinen, who will next run through the financials from the previous quarter. After Samu's presentation, there's some time for questions. With that said, thank you for joining us today, and you're welcome, Samu.
Thank you, Tapio. So I'll start walking us through our Q2 interim results, and as we are reflecting with our headline, I guess the key sentiment with our quarter really is that we are extremely satisfied with our B2B business performance, where we grew by 22%. So that is really the headline of the interim report. And the other items that the flow that we will be covering today is first focusing on the key takeaways from Q2, then moving on to key figures, a little bit about the business updates, the market, and finishing off with the market guidance and the future outlook for F-Secure. So starting from the headlines, covering now both the B2B and B2C businesses. So looking at the B2B business that I already mentioned, growing by a really nice 22%, to offer a bit more color to that growth figure that really was on the upper end of our expectations. So we are extremely pleased how we performed on that front. And that is now broken into two, the product sales and our cybersecurity services sales. On product front, our offering is based on three main categories, them being endpoint protection, vulnerability management, and managed detection service. And we are relatively confident that across all these three product domains, we continue outperforming the market, growing faster than the market, although we are not disclosing product-specific revenues or growth numbers, but in each of these categories, we are clearly growing faster versus what we understand the market is growing. Thus, once you grow faster than the market, you win market share, and I think that is always the ultimate measure for any company, the ultimate test to your competitiveness, whether you are keeping up the market or whether you are actually growing faster and winning market share. In services front, where our offering consists perhaps 3-4 different domains, them being red teaming, forensics, incident response, and governance, regulatory and compliance, security consulting. So that really had a spectacular quarter. We've added a lot of headcount to this business also during last year and this year, and our utilization rates were extremely high. So we are really pushing the envelope. I don't actually see that we could have grown much faster in that front. Also, geographical expansions, as during the quarter we acquired a small cybersecurity consulting boutique company, Digital Assurance from UK. So I'm very pleased that we now start to have a cybersecurity services footprint in the UK market, and that just so well complements to our product business in multiple ways. And now moving on to consumer security, that grew by 2%, and this is by nature a bit different market than B2B. So the market is of less growth, and we believe that us growing by 2%, we are not clearly outperforming the market, but we are keeping up the market. We believe that the market growth is around 1 or 2%. So by growing 2%, this is really at the market growth pace, and also very well according to our own expectations. So we've been quite vocal and quite clear that within consumer security, our expectations is to continue a low single-digit growth, whereas as an example in Q1, where we grew 5% in consumer security, we also elaborated the 5% really being the upper end of our own expectations. And now I think this 2% very well reflects the pace, not only for Q2 obviously, but also going forward, and so that really is the momentum there. That business is split into the operator channel, where we are partnering with more than 200 carriers, telecom operators around the world, and it really continues being a unique asset for F-Secure. That is our ecosystem through which we push our consumer products to millions and millions of customers. And then additionally, a smaller part of the overall consumer security is a direct sales, where we have had a really diligent and clear focus on the Nordic markets, and that focus is really paying off, as we see that we are clearly growing faster than the market with that particular geography, and very, very happy with that. Also, one thing to highlight is that the long-awaited, our first consumer security hardware product, F-Secure Sense, that really solves the security issues once and for all, to the whole digital home, really protecting all devices that have connectivity. We finally started shipping F-Secure Sense, and we announced the product more than a year ago, so it really was a long-awaited time to start really shipping the product, and we are very happy with the product quality and with everything, and I'll talk a bit more about that later in the presentation. So that is perhaps the key takeaways covering B2B and B2C business. And now looking at the numbers, so revenue, we landed 43.2 million, and on the slide you see the split to corporate security, our B2B business, and consumer security, our B2C business. Operating profit 2.3 million, and really well according to our own expectations. I'm very, very happy also how we did for what comes to cost management in the company. That continues being so important. So even if you are investing in the growth, you need to be very cautious with your cost increments, and really managing the cost well, I think is very, very important. Overall, repeating our thinking for what comes to profitability is really that although the profitability is down by roughly 50% versus the year before, so it's very important to understand that this is not something that is happening for F-Secure. So our profitability is not eroding if you look at the business dynamics and our profit generating capability. So the lower profitability is really because of the investments. We are not optimizing for short-term profits. We are really investing to growth, and so that really is the story behind the profitability. And as I said, so the profitability was really according to our own plans, 5% of revenues. Now moving on to the last pieces of the financial information that we are covering within this presentation is earnings per share. So earnings per share this time as a one-off is impacted with one tax resolution dispute case that was decided very favorably to F-Secure during the quarter. We received a one-time payment as a result of that 3.1 million total. So here you see the comparison number that we are now publishing earnings per share, actually very similar as it was year before, although the profitability is minus 50% versus year before. So that one-off tax dispute resolution payment explains why the earnings per share continues to be on a very, very high level. But I want to emphasize that really is a one-off, and I don't think it carries much at all kind of a future trending if you look at the earnings per share. So it really is an abnormally high now for Q2 because of that single issue. And the total revenue growth 10%, and very happy to see that the revenue growth is reflecting the investments that we have placed. So revenue growth is clearly accelerating. So total revenue growth 2016 was 7%. This year Q1 it was 9% and now 10%. So it really is going to the direction that we wanted it to go. And again, especially happy with the B2B growth of 22%. Although need to underscore that really is the upper end of our own expectations. A little bit about the markets. So during Q2, the world saw a couple of really widespread, high-profile virus outbreaks, WannaCry and Petya, and I think this is a good example how there just continues to be a tremendous momentum in this industry. These major malware outbreaks are continue being a big menace, and what I think was quite specific with the WannaCry and Petya is that it's not only the large international companies who fell victim to these attacks, but these are really widespread, and I think both WannaCry and Petya they impacted companies of all sizes, so from large international corporations to small and medium-sized businesses. So really a broad challenge across all businesses, and obviously these types of incidents they continue pushing the awareness and pushing the demand for cybersecurity products and services. And now moving back a little bit towards the numbers. So here you see the graphical illustration how our B2B and B2C businesses have developed over the years and how the company overall top line growth is developing. So here you really clearly see the trend, as an example in consumer business where we have been very steadily now past 4 or 5 quarters in consumer business, between 1% growth being the weakest and 5% growth being the fastest, and now landing at 2% at Q2. So this really, I think, very well illustrates the momentum we have in that business. And although we are not offering any business specific top line guidance, but we've been also verbally commenting that our expectations within consumer business is to continue with low single digit growth. So I think this past record very well supports our thinking. Now in B2B, we obviously see here the quarter 2 really being the highlight, 22% growth. But the main thing is that all of this is now organic. It's not impacted with the NSense acquisition that we did a year back, and the growth is accelerating, and the acceleration is a result of both very successful product sales and very successful cybersecurity services sales. So that business mix clearly is resonating very well with the marketplace, and now the company overall growth 10%. So just very happy with the results overall. And here the deferred revenue versus revenue, you see that the deferred revenue this quarter grew 9%, and to add a bit more color to that, so this was really then on the lower end of our own expectations. There are a couple of one-offs in one particular geography that is impacting this deferred revenue. So although we see here a trend coming down from 13% last 2 quarters now to 9%, our thinking is that this 9% growth in deferred revenue is a bit more of an anomaly and impacted with some one-offs rather than the beginning of a declining trend. So although the Q2 deferred revenue growth 9% was a small disappointment to us, it's not something to be overly alarmed. We have good confidence to start seeing a double-digit numbers in deferred revenue space as we go forward. And looking at that profitability, so here you very clearly see the investments we are placing and really what's the impact to profitability. So it's practically halved versus what we commanded a year ago. And again, need to emphasize that this is going as we planned, and we continue placing these investments as we are very encouraged with the results that we are witnessing, especially on B2B side, and most of the investments are the additional investments are being placed on the B2B sides, both product development and also go-to-market and sales and marketing. So really tracking to our plans very nicely here. Then a couple of more points per business. So starting with the B2B business. So here first the endpoint security, which is the biggest part of our B2B business. So we continue growing there faster than the market. This business is predominantly in Europe for us. Also Japan is a very important market for F-Secure. So we are seeing very good results there. Our renewals are on the good levels, and the customer acquisition and the partner acquisition really continued being very strong there. The area that we are mostly pleased with is the pace and the market acceptance that we see for rapid detection service, and that really had a spectacular quarter. So we landed many deals, many major enterprises across several different verticals. So it really is showing a very encouraging start for F-Secure. We announced that offering about a year ago, so it's still early days, and in total revenue wise it's way smaller versus the endpoint protection, but if you look at the growth, it starts to have a notable part of the growth equation for F-Secure, and I'm extremely pleased with the early traction we see for RDS now. The other two here is F-Secure Radar, which is our vulnerability management. So also there we continued growth, and it's a promising area. It's also similarly as rapid detection service. It's a bit newer area for F-Secure, but we continue seeing a lot of opportunities there, and we see the adjacency that it carries across endpoint protection, rapid detection service, and also cybersecurity services. So it fits very well into the overall F-Secure story. And the last but not the least is a very specific project that we've done together with Salesforce, where we wanted to add an additional layer of security to Salesforce Cloud. And I'm also very happy to witness very encouraging traction there. So we won a lot of customers in that space as well, and still currently I believe we are the only vendor offering that service to Salesforce ecosystem. So I'm very excited to see how that goes going forward. Then moving on to cybersecurity services. So within our B2B business, this is the fastest growing part of B2B business, and we really invested a lot here, and now increasing share of the top line is also now coming outside Finland and Denmark, although Finland and Denmark geographically are the areas where we really have a stronghold to that market. And the digital assurance acquisition we did in UK that now really allows us to start building the services capabilities in UK and getting the benefits on combining the product and services business, which we really believe today addresses the market requirement very, very well. And here you see then as a little bit as a recap or as a summary the overall B2B portfolio, where we've done a lot of work and broadened the portfolio a lot. So really covering all four corners, offering the 360-degree view to security, covering prevention, detection, response and predict capabilities, both for what comes to products and solutions and also cybersecurity services. So I'm really happy with our portfolio coverage, which is very, very comprehensive and meets the market requirements, I would say, spot on at the moment. And here you have highlighted the areas where we see the best traction across the newer entrants to our portfolio in vulnerability management space, cloud security, and also managed detection and response. So overall, if I look at these newer solutions that are highlighted here, we today have deals done already in 13 countries across all these. So the geographical coverage is starting to pick up very nicely, and we obviously expect this line of duty to accelerate and further drive F-Secure growth going forward. And a bit more color to our cybersecurity services. So we have that operation now represented in 8 countries in Europe. So there is always that locality and regional aspect with that business. But added to that, I think it's important to understand and emphasize that we also serve a lot of multinational major corporations in certain industry verticals. So our business currently is not really limited to operating on these countries only, but additionally we have several global companies as our customers. Couple of industry verticals to highlight there would be automobile and aviation, where in both of these segments many of the leading brands, many of the tier 1 vendors in those domains are customers to our cybersecurity services. And I think that this really speaks about our performance and our overall professionalism and really the world-class delivery we have in place. So many of these verticals really are the most demanding verticals we see out there, and I'm so glad to see that those most demanding customer verticals are increasingly choosing F-Secure to provide the cybersecurity services that they need. And now a few highlights in consumer security. First, looking at the operator channel. So revenue continues to grow slightly, and the product activation rates are increasing, which I think is very, very important that you continue witnessing the improving customer engagement for what comes to your product activation. One of the highlights from the Q2 was that we had our annual operator partner summit in Barcelona this year, and out of the 200 operator partners, we had 80 operator partners joining our annual event. So I think this really is a great testimony how the operator channel continues being committed to F-Secure, and really how we command the thought leadership in this space. So how to best take full leverage of a channel like operators and utilize it as a consumer product go-to-market model. And then moving on a little bit towards the product. So one of our portfolio pieces in consumer security, F-Secure Key, which is our password manager product. It was very happy to see that now 2 of our major operator partners have started to combine F-Secure Key, the password manager, with F-Secure Safe, which is our internet security product. And that really adds a lot of value to those customers. It makes the channel look more appealing. It drives the ARPU, and it offers just offers a great cross-sell opportunity to Safe customers. So it is a very good sign that we managed to expand our portfolio coverage with some of our key operators. And the last here is the F-Secure Sense, our first hardware product. So two of the leading Nordic operators, Telia and Elisa, they both have now started to sell F-Secure Sense, and this again I think very well underscores the importance and the benefits that the operator channel carries for F-Secure. So it immediately gives us the reach in a big scale, and when introducing new products. So it really shows the power of that ecosystem if we get those operators to start pushing the new products that we introduce to the marketplace. And then last piece is our direct sales, where we have very tight geographical focus in the Nordics. So there we really continue performing very well. So although direct sales in raw numbers is significantly smaller than the operator channel, if I now look at the growth, the direct channel really is growing way faster, whereas operator channel is more of a flat or in a very slight growth. We replaced a lot of competition in retail. So the good old retail, although doesn't sound like the modern go-to-market model, but retail still is a clear growth business for us in the Nordics, and also e-commerce is going really well, both the new customer acquisition and renewals. And the business is largely carried by F-Secure Safe and Freedom, which is the VPN and privacy offering. And overall, if I look at the market, we see a lot of tailwind for privacy and VPN products, and I think that explains the very good growth we saw for Freedom. And also the F-Secure Sense has been now shipped in our direct channels. And here you see a couple of clips from the market entry of F-Secure Sense. So when you take a new product to the market, in the beginning it's not just a new product, but in this case it's also a new category, and it's very difficult to estimate the market acceptance. It's very difficult to estimate your volumes, your sales volumes, and the revenue. So we are being very cautious with our sales outlook for F-Secure Sense, but in the beginning, the first thing that you need to be seeing is that the product is well made, it resonates, it gets a good market acceptance, and I think today we have about 30 reviews for F-Secure Sense, and all of them are extremely positive. So we are really getting through a lot of comments that it's well productized, installation is made very simple, user experience looks nice, and it's straightforward and simple, and it also, as a router, the performance is really good. So I think these are really the attributes that are coming across from the reviews. So interesting times ahead, very difficult to forecast, but we are very interested about this concept, and if you elevate a little bit to the helicopter view, so I think it's pretty clear that the consumer security industry is changing, and the IoT is just coming to your homes, you want it or not. All of us, we start to have so many connected devices at our homes. So one way or the other, the security challenges of that vast variety of connected devices really needs to be resolved, and this is our first thinking. What could it look like? What should it be? and I'm just excited to see how this goes going forward, although being quite cautious with the revenue estimate. I'm pretty sure that we are starting something exciting going forward. And now I think this, similarly as we had for B2B, this now summarizes the consumer offering. So endpoint security, the F-Secure Safe, VPN and privacy product, Freedom, password management, F-Secure Key, where we now got a couple of very big operator wins, new account expansions there. And lastly, the connected homes security, F-Secure Sense. So we have a very comprehensive consumer offering, and I think this really is the portfolio that is meeting the market, meeting the market requirements, and we continue thinking that we have a very stable and strong consumer business, although growth-wise there is more expectations in B2B side than B2C. But this is very, very solid for F-Secure. And then closing off, so as a sentiment, so really being encouraged, or continue being encouraged with the results that we are seeing clearly surfacing from the investments that we started to place last year and the investments that we continue making this year. So we definitely will continue investing for growth, investing for market share gain, investing in sales and marketing, investing in product development, really expansion, the portfolio expansion, and just making F-Secure stronger. So this really gives the strong Q2 really emphasized again the thing that we are on a right direction, and really the future outlook I think is very interesting for F-Secure. This is an interesting market. It's a growth market, and therefore I'm also very happy with the company and with our performance, that at the growth market you continue keeping up the pace and actually growing fast than the market, which is so important. And now finishing off, so closing with the market guidance, our outlooks, we keep it as we had it in the beginning of the year, so not changing the outlook. So the outlook continues being that the operating profit anticipated between 8 to 12 million. So as we go forward with the year, we will see whether there will be a time and place to give a smaller range for the operating profit. That's something that we are evaluating, but at the moment we are not changing the outlook. So the profitability outlook continues being 8 to 12 million. And for what comes to top line, so the only outlook that we've given is that the security will grow versus 2016, and as we have now witnessed the first 2 quarters, Q1 growing 9%, Q2 growing 10%, so it's pretty clear that we are on a good track keeping with that outlook. So that's about the things that I was planning to cover, and thank you for listening, and now we can take questions.
Yes. So we have now allowed you to unmute yourself. If you wish to ask something, please go ahead. The ones joining online can also type in questions. Okay, if there aren't any questions, then thank you for joining us, and look forward to talking to you again. Bye.